The odds of becoming an NFL player are less than 2% for a high school senior, 2.4% for a college senior, and to win a Super Bowl, to win 2 Super Bowls, those are just insurmountable odds. Mark Collins, do you ever think about, what position what you accomplish as a player in the National Football League? Because a lot of people don't even get to play in a Super Bowl. You played on 2, and you were 2 for 2.
Yeah, you know what, Michael? I never thought about it until maybe I would say 6, 7 years ago. My accomplishments, not just playing in 1, but winning 2 Super Bowls. Technically, I played in 3. Won 2 in New York with the Giants, and we lost 1 in Green Bay with the Packers. But never really thought about it until about 7 years ago, and I guess it was a pretty good accomplishment.
How did you prepare yourself when you were a player? How did you prepare yourself physically and mentally throughout the week? I mean, did you have a certain routine that you followed?
Oh, sure. All athletes we have a regiment that we do. Some of it is superstition. Like, for instance, before every game, every home game, I got my left ankle taped, and then away games, my right ankle taped first. So it's all different. But the routine was pretty much the same. I never watched what I ate. I just was mentally strong, just did what I did. And I enjoyed 13 great seasons in the National Football League, 4 at Cal State Fullerton, and 3 football seasons at Pacific High School in San Bernardino. Great times.
What made those New York Giants teams so specially defensively?
We had great coaches. Bill Belichick was my defensive back and defense coordinator.
That's right.
Romeo Cornell was there. Parcells, of course. We had a great core of coaches, and we had great players. I mean, great leaders. Harry Carson, George Martin, Jim Burt, Carl Banks, Phil Simms. A lot of veteran leadership qualities that really wouldn't let us fail.
What was it like playing with Lawrence Taylor? Tell the average fan what it was like for Mark Collins to play in that situation.
Mike, you don't have that much time.
No, I know we don't, but try to capsulize it if you can in just 1 sentence or 2.
Lawrence was a great player. He was a better person in those days. He did his stuff, but the man always showed up and played hard. I don't judge people. It's not my job to judge what they do off the field, but I'm telling you, as a teammate and how he treated the players that he played with, he was hands down the best football player I've ever played with. And note it, now I played Joe Montana here in Kansas City, was here when I was here, Reggie White in Green Bay when I was there, Derek Thomas, all these great players, but Lawrence Taylor, he was the best football player ever to step on the football field, in my opinion.
Now, there's a mystique that always follows Bill Belichick, a coaching genius. You had a chance to play for him. What made him so apart from everybody else as a coach, Mark?
Oh, one thing that Bill Belichick could do better than anybody else is strategize and make adjustments. I remember many games offensive team would give us some fits, and we go in at halftime and make those adjustments. And back in those days, Bill Belichick just used that little grease board and make a few adjustments, go in there, and we get it done, and we apply it, and we win the game. Won most of the games that he did that in. And I'll give you a quick story. Super Bowl 25, he came up with this game plan where we had like only 2 linebackers and 1 defensive lineman on the field. The rest were DBs, and we beat the Buffalo Bills. It was fantastic. That game plan is in the Hall of Fame.
I'll be darned. That's the year when Scott Norwood missed the field goal at the end. That was a great Super Bowl. That was a great Super Bowl. Now, your first Super Bowl, you played the Broncos, and to me, you guys were just a superior physical team. You really imposed your will on them. It was in Pasadena, so it was kind of homecoming for you. Tell us a little bit about that day when you first wake up in the morning. You're going to play in a Super Bowl. What's that like?
Well, a guy like me coming from Cal State Fullerton, back in those days, even now, I don't have football anymore, but it wasn't a football powerhouse. So going from Fullerton to New York was a big step in itself. And then starting on that defense as a rookie, and then coming to Pasadena, playing in my backyard, well, it was a dream come true, basically. And, I kind of took it for granted because I thought, my first year, I'll do this all the time. And then, we had that 4-year drought and got back in there. But I'll tell you, I really I thought it was great. It was fantastic. And I really, if I had one regret, the first Super Bowl, I really really didn't savor the flavor of it. I kind of took it for granted. I just said, yeah, it's no big deal. We'll be here again and blah, blah, blah. But the second time, I really took advantage of everything, all the freebies, all the free stuff. So that was fun. That was fun.
We're talking with Mark Collins, two-time Super Bowl champion of the former New York Giant. Mark, what were your strengths, in your opinion? If you scouted Mark Collins, what were your strengths that you had that made you such a good football player in the NFL?
Well, I would say probably my tenacity. I mean, everything being equal, everybody can play. I think my strongest attribute which helped me in football, and it helps me in life, is my mental toughness. I never quit. I never take no for an answer because no never means no. You just got to reformulate and rephrase it and come back again. And always work hard. I'm a very hard worker mentally, and that really, really got me going. And that really started when I was in San Bernardino. San Bernardino's a tough town. Sometimes things don't go right for you. And the schools I went to were tough schools. So you have to be mentally tough to withstand that. And if you could do it in those areas, you'll be amazed what you can do.
You were teammates with Eric Swanson, correct, at Pacific High School? Both of you guys wound up playing in the National Football League. Obviously, you had a lot longer career. Did you ever stop to think at that time when you were in high school that you would be accomplishing and playing in the Super Bowl like you did and winning 2 rings? Did it ever enter your mind, or was that just a pipe dream?
No, honestly, I never thought about playing football. That wasn't my strongest. No, I thought I was a great baseball player myself.
Oh, that's right.
Other people didn't. So I thought I was a better baseball player. And football was really an accident. I loved it. It was a great sport. I really didn't start playing football until my sophomore year in high school. So,
really?
That was really
So you're a late bloomer when it comes to football, right? You didn't start till later, obviously.
Exactly. But once again, that's the mental toughness. Once I put my mind to it, I felt I could get it done. And, the rest is history. But I never really set out to be a pro football player. Never did.
It just happened, huh? Who are the coaches in particular, people that influenced you into making a successful career? Anybody that stands out in particular, even way back then?
Gosh, I tell you what, Michael. One guy. I mean, on the high school level, Tom Hoke. Tom Hoke. I remember. I know I tell a lot of stories, but I'm gonna tell you this story. I remember Tom Hoke was my math teacher in 9th grade, and I walked up to him and said, "Hey, Coach, I'm Mark Collins. I'm going to try for your football team next year. I'm going to play varsity. I'm going to wear number 22 on your football team." Well, 22 was a guy named was Sammy Parrish. He was a running back in Pacific. It's like, I'm going to wear number 22. I'm going to be starting running back, and I'm going to make the team, all this other stuff. So Tom Hoke said, "Yeah, sure, kid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll see it." So I go out, and I thought I did pretty well. Mm-hmm. But he put me on. I practiced with the JV, but before the season started, I ended up playing varsity. I started at running back, wore number 25, or 26 rather, and played pretty well for Tom for 3 years. But Tom Hoke was a great motivator of kids. When I get back to San Bernardino, I got to look him up. I saw him about 7-8 years ago. He was coaching still. Just said hello to him, and we talked for quite a bit. But Tom Hoke, singly, I would say, really kickstarted my football career.
I'll be darned. What do you take from your professional years and working, being an NFL veteran as you were? How do you apply that to the business world and things that you're involved in present time? Tell us about some of the ventures you're involved in right now.
Well, some of the things that applies in football, and they say football is a small microcosm of life. Sports is a small microcosm of life.
True.
But one thing about pro sports, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are. So if you have that mental thing going for you, you'll be okay. I never got caught up in what I did for a living. It was just my job. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. It was what it was. So for me to walk away from that, when I walked away from it, I was cool with it. No withdrawals, no comebacks, none of that stuff. And that's the same way I apply myself in business. You're never as great as you are, as you think you are. You're never as bad as they think you are. So that same mentality and keep working hard, I think really helped me out a lot. I had restaurants, fast food restaurants, had a few bars in New York. I'm doing online online college recruiting now, 2-5 Sports, where we give student athletes the opportunity to get maximum exposure throughout the country. We are NC2A certified. So that same thing. So I travel a lot, get to talk to schools, school districts, kids about putting their profile on my website, and colleges will look for those kids based on the criteria that the college has set, position, gender, GPA, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty good. And so, I've always tried to keep things simple. I'm very humble. I have great kids. I just try to do things right, stay out of trouble, which is easy for me.
You've done pretty good. It's really, I want to share this with the audience, which is talk about a small world. When I was a trainer at St. Paul High School way, way, way back when, I believe we played you guys in the first round of the CIF playoffs, and it was you and Eric Swanson and Kenny Sleezak, all those guys, we're all in the same field competing against each other in just a small world. Obviously, I didn't play. You would have probably kicked my butt. But anyways.
Remember, Alex Espinoza was there, too.
Who else?
Alex Espinoza was the
Alex Espinoza, who played for Kansas City. Very good. And he played for Iowa State. I think he set all sorts of records at Iowa State.
Fullerton first. He came at Cal State Fullerton for a while.
Is that right? And Mike,
That's right.
And Andy Stankiewicz, who wound up playing for the New York Yankees, he won a different career. He was a great baseball player. Wow, that's some good times, some good memories there, Mark, I tell you. One question I wanted to ask you is, you were a Ken Hubbs Award winner, which is a tremendous distinction for the best athlete in the entire county of San Bernardino, largest county in the United States, by the way. And the runner-up was our very good, dear, late friend, Jimmy Loughran, who played for Aquinas. And somebody else that you mentioned that played for San G.
Gary Wright.
Gary Wright.
Gary Wright, yeah.
What was his nickname?
Yeah.
Sir Dunkalot, right? Or something?
Sir
Jamalot.
Sir
Jamalot. Sir Jamalot, who coached at Valley College 1 year here. Nice person. But that must have been quite an accomplishment to win that award.
Well, yeah, Mike, coming from Pacific, we weren't the best. We didn't have the best athletic program, but we had a lot of hard workers, So when I won that award, and I called that award the San Bernardino County. That's the Heisman Trophy of San Bernardino County.
It sure is.
And I've always said I love it. I cherish that trophy, and I'm going to make a point to get back this year. What was going to be next year? I do believe next year when they presented. I'm going to be at that event next year. So that was huge for me, especially with all the talent who I beat out that year. So it was classic.
Well, Mark, I tell you what, I like to play this little game to end things in here, and it's called word association, but I call it super streaming. Maybe I'll copyright it one of these days. But anyways, if I give you one word, just give me a sentence of what comes to mind as soon as I mention this to you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Pacific High School.
A great school, an older school, but a lot of great character. That place really made me who I am.
Bill Parcells.
Tough, hard, but fair. Had the first opportunity to tell him 7 years ago that I really loved him and I appreciated what he did for me.
Wow, that's pretty special. The Super Bowl.
The greatest sporting event in the world. It even trumps the World Cup, believe it or not. I think the Super Bowl is the creme de la creme of all sports.
Finally, family.
Very important. Without family, you're not anything. Without great kids, without your kids, you're not anything. You're just wasting time.
Well, Mark, I tell you, we did this 20-some years ago with Sports Beat. We get to do it again.
Yeah.
And I hope we see you down here in San Bernardino soon and stop by and say hello. But we do appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy person and wishing you all the best. And it's good to talk to you again.
Hey, Mikey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Mark Collins, along with two others, are the only San Bernardino natives to win multiple Super Bowls from the largest county in the United States. And what are the odds on that? I'm Mike Sola. Thank you for streaming with us. See you at the games.